Hello everybody, my name is Nootmad and welcome back to episode 14 of my Ultimate Moze Guide series. Today we are continuing the mini-series where I go over the best weapons from each manufacturer, just to give some ideas to those who are planning to do a manufacturer elitist run for example, but also to act as a bit of a guide on what weapons you should keep an eye out for while farming for your optimal loadouts. In this installment we'll be going over Jakobs weapons, but before we get into it, I just want to point out that I've also started streaming on Twitch, so if you're keen on joining in on the fun, I'll be putting the link in the pinned comment down below. But now that's out of the way, let's just get straight into the video. So, the first gun that I would suggest for a Jakobs loadout is the recently buffed Headsplosion sniper rifle. You can get one from yourself from the Monkey King Bobo in Voracious Canopy. The anoint I recommend is a 390, just for those nutty one-shot kills. The reason why I recommend the Headsplosion for Moze is due to the fact that it A, does splash on hit, and B, can ricochet and potentially crit, making it incredibly useful with things like a Minesweeper class mod or a Blastmaster class mod. In the gameplay you can see in the background, I'm using a 0.m amp shield to increase the potential damage output of this loadout, and as you can also see, occasionally I pull off a shot on an enemy and it just wipes out an entire room. That's just how it works, because of the splash damage, Moze's splash skills, as well as his ricochets that can also crit and proc Minesweeper grenades. So yeah, with this setup, you can easily run a Sniper Moze build and scratch that itch that you've always wanted to use a powerful setup that allows Moze to take and win long range engagements. The second gun on this list is the Clairvoyance, a DLC 2 weapon that drops on the Critchy and Cursehaven. I recommend either the 390 anoint or the consecutive hits anoint. The Clairvoyance can come in a standard semi-auto variant, a Gatling variant, as well as a Masher. Out of those three, I highly recommend the Gatling variant due to its higher damage potential. The Clairvoyance works very nicely when combined with the Minesweeper class mod due to its initial projectile and the sticky projectile that gets left behind, both being able to proc a Minesweeper micro grenade as long as they crit, essentially doubling your chance to do damage in a single shot. Combined with the auto-fire mode that you get from the Gatling variant, you can see why the Clairvoyance is a solid assault rifle for Moze to use. The third weapon that works well on Moze is the Skullmasher. Yes, it's another sniper rifle, and it drops from Eisted the sometimes invincible from the Skidmore Basin. The Skullmasher is a multi-pellet, fast-firing sniper that I would honestly recommend to use in short-range engagements rather than that long distances, just due to its high recoil and incredibly long-distance scope. Its high recoil makes it clunky to use over long ranges, but at short ranges and with 390 anoint, it does very well. Paired with a Minesweeper class mod, and you got yourself a lethal combination to work around with. The fourth weapon in this list is a pistol that comes in the form of the Bloom. It's a DLC 3 drop from the Ruiner in Crater's Edge, and yeah, it's a very solid pistol overall, and although it does have a charge up to deal its maximum damage, you can still spam the fire button and mob very reliably. Pair this with a 390 anoint and a Minesweeper class mod, and you get yourself a really nice, reliable Jakobs pistol to crush your enemies with. And finally, we have the Lucky 7. It's a DLC 1 pistol that drops from Scraptrap Prime in the Compactor. Now, I personally don't enjoy using the Lucky 7, but I know you guys watching will be wondering why I didn't include it in this video, so I thought I'd mention it anyway. The Lucky 7 has a unique effect of being able to do different things for each reload. Basically, each reload has a different stat, so for example, you might get a Masher on one reload, you might get Splash, you might get Auto Crit, or sometimes if you're lucky enough, you get all three in one. So yeah, once you do get that good reload bonus, Moze can sustain it near infinitely when combined with a heavily invested bottomless mag setup. Damage wise, the Lucky 7 is absolutely ridiculous, and technically is one of Moze's best weapons. However, its upside is also its downside, and the reason why I don't enjoy using it. In order to get it to deal its maximum damage, you basically have to make sure that you keep rerolling your bonuses until you get what you need. In most cases, it'll be the Masher, Amp, Splash, and Auto Crit roll. Now, this can take some time depending on how, wait for it, lucky you are, but once you do, you're good to go. Now, I personally don't have any gameplay of myself using the Lucky 7, but in the comments below, I'll include a Guardian takedown run by a guy called Help You Help Me, who has used nothing but the Lucky 7 and is absolute god with it. And if you end up watching that video, you'll see what I mean when I say the Lucky 7 is capable of some absolutely ridiculous damage. So yeah, that rounds out what I think are some of the best Jakobs weaponry you can get from Moze. By all means, it's not a definitive list, nor is it an exhaustive list, just a couple weapons that I think work well with Moze from the Jakobs manufacturer. But of course, if you guys have any other suggestions or ideas for what other Jakobs weapon will work good for Moze, I'm always open to hear what you guys have to say, so let me know in the comments below. But aside from that, thank you all so much for watching, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!